Hey, what is up, beautiful people? My name is Coach Martinez. You don't know me, but I want you to just stay with me for the next couple of 5-10 minutes, and I want to have a little quick chat with you. I know that you're going into grade 8 and then eventually moving into high school, and these are scary, very difficult times. Never did we imagine that we would be living through a pandemic. I can't even go to the dollar store without a mask. I remember the other day, it was about 2 weeks ago, I went into the dollar store without a mask by accident, and then people were looking at me like, oh, monster! And then I had to really quickly, I forgot, and I quickly ran into the car, grabbed it, put it on, and I was treated so meanly and badly. But yeah, who would have thought that a mask would have stopped me from buying stuff, right? And so yeah, so I know what you're going through, and that's okay. But what I want to share with you is a really quick story. It's a skydiving story. And it's the following. A couple of years ago, I went 2-3 years ago, I went skydiving. I wanted to get over the fear of heights, and traumatic experience. And the whole thing will take about 20 minutes to explain, so I don't want to go into detail. I just want to let you know what happened towards pretty much the end. So as I didn't want to do it, I was crying. It was one of those ugly cries where you got like boogies everywhere, right? Like you're calling for your mom, right? It's like the worst thing in the world. And so this guy, just my Tatum jumper, and I don't know if you know what a Tatum jumper is, and that's when you've never gone flying or skydiving. They strap you to a professional instructor, and then you both jump together, and they control the chute, they control everything. And so we are now dropping. Like we are now. Well, actually, so before I tell you the drop story, I didn't want to go skydiving, I didn't want to be there, and I had the keys in my hands ready to take off. And then this guy, the Tatum jumper, he noticed that I was a little bit scared, or a lot scared. And so he was talking to me, hey, how you doing? It's going to be okay. He told me about his story. He has over 17,000 jumps. He talked about how he had a wife and 3 kids. He worked on Hollywood. He actually worked on the set of Godzilla. There's a scene there where a bunch of soldiers just jump out. And then anyways, he was there and he taught them how to jump properly, and he was there. And so I was starting to feel a little bit better. Still scared, but I was starting to feel a little bit better and just willing to try. Anywho, we get up the plane. I'll bypass the rest of the story. I'm hoping that one day we get to see each other face to face, and I actually have the video to show you of my experience. But the part that I want to share with you is actually the most painful part of my jumps. When I jumped, we're now traveling out, at the speeds of 200 kilometers an hour at over 12,500 feet in the air. And I don't know if you know how fast 200 kilometers an hour is. When you're in the car driving, when you're in the, you're driving the 410, 401, 100 kilometers an hour. So now I'm traveling double the speed to my death, screaming to the top of my lungs. And he pulls the cord, and then all of a sudden, our bodies just they shoot right up. Like they get jerked right up in the air. And I'm now in so much pain because when he pulled on that cord, I got the biggest wedgie of a lifetime. So I know you're laughing at me, and that's okay. And we're talking about not just a regular wedgie, like we're talking about, so there's wedgies, there's ultimate wedgies, and this is the atomic wedgies. Like we're talking about the mother of all wedgies, and I'm in so much pain. We were dropping for about a minute. Then we get pulled up, got the wedgie, and now we're floating for about 5 minutes. And all I can think of is, what kind of permanent damage is this thing going to cause? Right? And we finally land. I do the wedgie walk where I look like I'm a cowboy, Howdy partner. And then anyways, I was just in so much pain. Now, the reason why I was telling you the story is the following. During the process of me getting there, signing the paperwork, jumping on the planes, I went from not wanting to be there and ready to leave to not wanting to be there and trying. I went from being scared and wanting to get out of there to being scared and willing to try. And all because of the instructor. He spent a good 20-25 minutes just making me feel okay. He told me that it was going to be okay. He told me he had 17,000 jumps and all these different things. So the message that I have for you is, you're not alone. Okay? You're not. This is the first time in the world where we are actually fighting a common monster, right? We got politics, we got racism, we got all these different things that are happening, and we're all fighting our own separate battles. This is the first time we as a country, as a world, are fighting the same battle. So are you allowed to feel scared? 100%. You should feel scared. We've never been through this. Nothing that we could have done, it could have prepared us for what we are feeling right now. What you're not allowed to feel is feel alone. Okay? You're allowed to be scared. You're not allowed to feel alone, because you're not. All right? You got school around, you got family, you got friends, you got staff that care about you and think of you the best. So we want you to change your focus a little bit here. Instead of focusing on what you don't have control of, which is, this pandemic and maybe trying to find a cure for COVID, you don't have that power. Why don't you focus on something that you can focus on? And that's getting ready for grade 8. I know it means like such a stretch and all that stuff. No. And I want you to listen to me for a second. Grade 8 is your year. You get to be seniors. You get to learn principles that will help you in high school. And high school is going to be another battle. Maybe not as big as COVID, but it's going to still be a battle. And it doesn't have to be a bad battle. It can be an adventurous one. It can be a phenomenal battle. It can be an adventure itself. But grade 8 is the year to prep for it. It's an opportunity to create goals and set standards for yourself that are going to help you for not just high school, but for the rest of your life. And so if you start focusing on that, if you start focusing on each other and how you can help each other out, if you can start focusing on looking into the future, every dark tunnel has a light at the end of it. But the only way to get to that light at the end of the tunnel, that is if you keep moving forward. Parking inside the dark tunnel is not going to get you out. The only way is by keep moving forward, just like a GPS. A GPS can tell you where to go, it can tell you where you are, but it cannot route the best possible route for you until you start moving, until it knows the direction that you are facing. Then all of a sudden the calculations come in, and then it shows you the best route to get to your destination. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know you. I think you're awesome though. I love you tons. And I look forward for the opportunity to one day work side by side together. So I ask a couple of things from you. Number 1, keep smiling. Number 2, give me a high five. And number 3, don't laugh at me too much and remind me of that wedgie. That's it. That's all I ask. 1, 2, 3. Keep smiling, give me a high five, and don't laugh at me too hard. And I promise you, this is we're going to have a really, really good time. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen. If you have any questions or concerns, my contact information is listed down below at MTC Life. You can reach me via Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I know you guys don't use Facebook, but Facebook page for all those who are listening. And I do have a YouTube channel where you can see the rest of the content to my videos. But for now, I want you to stay safe. I want you to stay together, be a community. And I want you to remember that you're not alone. You have each other, but you also have God. And the neat thing about that is that He knew that you were going to be born at this time. Can you understand or fathom that? That He knew that you were going to be born at this time, and He allowed for you to be born at this time because you were one of the strongest of the strong. Last story really quickly before I let you go. The Raptors, right? We all remember the championship. If you notice the last 2-3 minutes, the coach put his strongest players on the court to bring home the champion. You're God's champions, right? You are the best of the best. You were born at this time to endure these things. So take comfort in that He trusts you and he has faith in you as much as you have faith in Him. So again, my contact information is listed down below. Love you tons. Don't know you, but I pray that I get to high five each other. And that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you soon. Love you tons. Have a great, phenomenal day.